just slightly before I'd started at Dick James, and I'm having regular meetings with Reg in Denmark Street. And one day he came up to me and he says, I've just formed a band. I said, yeah, really? I said, what's it called? He says, we're called Bluesology. And I laughed at him. Because in my mind, I thought, how pretentious, because I was familiar with the Modern Jazz Quartet, and they had a tune on one of their albums called Bluesology, and so I thought, you got to be kidding me. So I just laughed at him. I said, yeah, okay, great, So he left his job at Meals Music and went on the road with his band, with Bluesology, and they were touring in Europe, and they were back in R&B acts, and Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, and a bunch of other people, and so they were, getting their chops developed there. And so while he went out with Bluesology, I went to Dick James, and I didn't see him. We didn't see each other for about 9 months, possibly about a year. And then roll it on forward. Then one day I'm in Dick James doing what I'm doing, running the studio and everything, and recording all kinds of demos and stuff for Brian Epstein's label, his roster of artists from Liverpool, Jerry and the Pacemakers, The Foremost, and Billy J. Kramer and the Dakota, all these people, Cilla Black, and you name it. And one day, this guy, Ray Williams, who worked at Liberty Records, he was an A&R guy, he brings in this new singer-songwriter guy, Reg Dwight, Because, it's an interesting context, because here we are, we're at Dick James Music, which was the biggest, most influential music publishing place on the planet at the time. Every songwriter on the face of the earth was banging on that door trying to get in to get their songs published by the Beatles Music Publishing Company, And so I had a stack of tapes and demos and stuff to hear, to listen to, and I had to make decisions about who was coming in the studio. And so, of course, there's the starving artist syndrome. Could you please give me some studio time, to just record this one song, Cat Stevens used to come in, and I'd give him free studio time, and he'd pay us back with a free dinner at his dad's restaurant that was just down the street, because he lived just down the street. Oh, yeah. And now by this time, Reg has grown his hair long, Back then he used to look like this English cartoon character, Billy Bunter, that we used to make fun of. But now he's grown his hair longer and he's looking a bit more hip, So I didn't actually recognize him, first of all. And he stood there in the studio, kind of hunched over the piano, and I come in and I'm setting up the mics and everything to record these demos, because these are his audition demos to get into the company, And I can see him kind of doing this, going, oh no, it's him, oh no, And I suddenly went, wait a minute, don't I know you? Oh, it's Reg, okay, oh right, yeah, okay, yeah, no problem, good to see you, So, the funny thing is, he had to audition for me.